there before today. And remember, what was there before today was 8 years. We are talking about 9 months in office. Let's not be hypocrites here. Let's put the emotions aside, Mr. Erastus, and look at the issues. You are my boss, and I respect you a lot. But you got this wrong. You are too emotional about issues. You need to look at the facts. Now, when I read your write-up, when I continue with your write-up, this is what's in there. Let's see. It shows that it's either the president was ill-briefed about the situation in the ground, or he was totally clueless of what happens on the ground. Or maybe he's also joining the bandwagon of deliberate spinning of falsehood in a bid to give the dog a bad name to hang it. You are basically speaking out of emotions. You are doing everything possible to disrespect the president. Yeah. That is what you are trying to do. And you know, in doing this, you are basically undermining your own report. Because I can show you report upon report where you have admitted that this government is doing better than the government that wanted to kill you. This is a government that is 8 months in power. Just 8 months. And the things that I am showing you, the things that I am playing to you, a government was in power for 8 years. We didn't see one. So what do you want? A DNA emoji. Is it an agenda against the government? We all want to fight Galamsey. We cannot fight Galamsey on speculation, disrespect, and personal or emotional feelings. No. We can only fight Galamsey by making sure the law works. How is the law going to work? We need to implement those laws and see through them. Now you go on to say this. I challenge the president to name a single licensed small-scale mining entity that is mining responsibly on the ground. That is why when the president came into office, he shut the door. He hasn't given anybody a license. You are shooting yourself in the foot. You are challenging the president to show you one small-scale miner. That is why when the president came, he said, I am not going to issue license like the way Akufo-Addo issued license like a crazy dog. I am going to vet what we have. Under MPP, Rastus, maybe you have forgotten yourself. This is what your own fake news multimedia you put out when it came to issuing of license. This is your own Akufo-Addo. The government that we voted against. Akufo-Addo issued 2,037 licenses. 2,037. 2,037. So if you are challenging the president to point out one small-scale mining company that is doing legitimate mining, there is a reason why the president stopped issuing any license from the day he came to office. He has never issued any license. And that should tell you that this president wants to protect you and protect Ghanaians. Imagine the president who will issue 1,000 licenses by now. So there's been crazy leap. There's been massive approach. The willingness is there. You can't challenge the president. The president has shown you the way by stopping. He has not issued a single license. Right before January 7th, Akufo-Addo issued 102 licenses. 102. Before the day before. What do you people what do you need again? Or you are still in that shock. It will take you some time. But sometimes we need to get out of the emotions. We understand. The fight is not an easy fight. Reporting on Galamsey is not easy. Putting your life on the line is not a joke. But hey, Say what the Democrat me. So every single thing is dangerous. And until sometimes I tell people, say people like Erastus, fighting against Galamsey, no, they have taken the decision. So what Ghana now a journalist, now so to me just say Jumana, leave the journalism job. Me, my address any Ghana. I don't have my address in Ghana. So I perform my journalism from America. Until you can't sit in Ghana and tell me, say, oh yeah, Bema Bragana Bear journalism. That is not where I live. I live in America. So I do my journalism from America. So what Ghana now journalism now dangerous. Leave the job. Erastus Nim said, dangerous. Still, he's in there because it's the passion. He really wants to do it. So I keep telling people, what you are asking of the president, he has already done it by not signing any license. Ever since there, nobody has been able to be bold to say the president is lying. John Mahama about power no, you was signing one license. Ever since there will be to me, are you not people happy about it? Now, Mamenko, forward in your write up. I'm trying to let you understand. Sometimes I'll say nyabotre, asamba nyabotre, asamoba aya mu nyabotre. Now, okasa bebra aya amount for whom weakness. Now you see, Mr. President, and this is Erastus speaking. Mr. President, some of your party executives listen to speculation, speculative journalism. Baby, why journalism eduno? Mention names. Obiantuminyo bibia. Otunfo said to Tawichi, Wamao award. Mention names and stop speculation. Because I want you to mention names for John Mahama to take action. Because John Mahama can, or say so be when I bemu, not say a chew so illegal mining Galamsey, or be making sure say brand new bedi or be pamon. So at this point, why are you speculating if you want Galamsey to stop? Then it means you are not ready to fight this menace. You are being like any ordinary person on the street who is speculating. Mr. President, some of your party executives and appointees who were not happy with the way they were pouring sand in their gari started a propagandist agenda to give the dog a bad name just to hang it. No. You are playing around words. If you really mean business, Erastus, if it's not about emotions, and you say, per se, o can be nani pebika say, where dear, what you just wrote here, it defeats you as a journalist and all the report are free on the ground, Eba Ghana for. Because baby, I'll go report to free me new hobby. Wherever you go to do the report, obi any hobby, then there's no need you going back there to report from the ground. What's the difference between you and the president? Because the president is not on the ground. You are on the ground. So if you're going to speculate, then you and the president, you don't have any right to criticize the president that he does not know what he's doing. Because the difference between you and the president at this point is that he's the president, he's up there. He cannot come down. That's why he has a minister. You are a reporter. You have the opportunity to go down there. So you need to prove to him that you have the job done. So mention the names. Especially when the president has told you, when we do evidence, we conduct evidence and get to know, say, Nipano, what are you scared of? Unless you are not ready to do the job. You go ahead to speculate more. Today, as I write after the president's submissions and compromised position, no. You need to retract some of the statements you've made. You have to apologize to the president. You. And I keep telling you, you are my boss. But I feel your emotions is driving you somewhere it's not supposed to drive you. You have put compromise in inverted commas. You are trying to protect yourself. What you cannot do. Compromise position on Galamsey, many illegal miners are meeting in Samra Boy and other areas. If you know illegal miners meeting, what is stopping you from telling the president who you are saying has been compromised? What's stopping you from telling the minister that this guy is an illegal miner? This person is an illegal. So it means you know the illegal miners. So if you know the illegal miners and the president is telling Ghanaians, you know, you have first-hand information. Why are you not giving it to the president and his team? Why are you not reporting to the minister? But you are speculating. You are now becoming a danger in the fight against Galamsey. Yes. Because if there are some people at Samra Boy who are doing what? Who are gathering illegal miners and you know about it and you have names, why are you now speculating? You have to be factual. Speculative journalism has ended a long time ago. And what I am doing tonight, Obibaji said, my name is boss or problem. I am protecting the integrity of Erastus Asare-Donkor, who is my boss. I am protecting what he has done. I am protecting his legacy. I am protecting the fight he has been fighting till now. Maybe he's becoming too emotional. So the basics and ethics, he's missing it. I will not sit here and say everything is rosary on the ground. I know the things you go through on the ground. I know the threat on your life. But the issue here is that we cannot also sit and speculate. We cannot sit and speculate. We need to be factual enough to prove or make our case. You are putting a lot of allegations out, disrespecting the president. But from the time I started reading this, your write-up, you have not been able to factually prove anything. You are speculating. You are speculating. Speculative journalism does not come in here. Now you go on to say this. They say they have been asked to go back. They say they have been asked to go back. Who says? So right now, you are writing everything based on speculation. This is Erastus Asare-Donkor. The Erastus we all know. The Erastus who is factual, who taught me the job. Now you are reporting, you are writing and saying they say. Who are the people saying? Who are the days? They say, who and who are the they? The illegal miners you know. So you know all these illegal miners and you have not told the government, you have not filed a report, you have not made it public. You know all these people. You know all these illegal miners and you are hiding it away from us. This is terrible. They say they have been asked to go back and erode the gains we made. Let's serve a warning. Mr. President, you are repeating the mistake of the previous regime and you know the consequences. What are the mistakes? You know the mistakes the previous regime made. And you know these illegal miners. You are hiding them and keeping them and telling the president that he's making a mistake. What to akoko and now the president say Abuwa Beni. My boss, what to anoma ho? And now the anoma de John Mahama say anoma be bonidin. You know the illegal miners. You even know that they are going to meet. You know that they are at Samra Boy. You know their locations. What is your job? What to turn Mahama now the John Mahama? You are making the same mistakes. The same mistakes in the same mistakes in the nim. I was a boy na aban eku Galamsey. Now unim omo enim baby omo miti enim say illegal miners wa. Then you are saying he's making. Show us and let us all come out and fight it. Well, I don't think, say, Erastus, if you do a report on NDC executive who is involved in Galamsey today with video evidence, facts, and documentation, the president will sit there and say, I don't care. No, this president is not a fool. John Mahama Onyakwasya, he respects people's opinions, but that does not mean he's a foolish man that anybody can just use anything against. So, from what I am reading, you are basically part of the illegal miners. I don't know, as long, maybe as you started reporting, you have been friends with them to the point where it is becoming difficult for you to pinpoint and tell us who they are. Because me maybe I any illegal miner. Samra boy, men ko hoda. Me wa fonane a coach summer text. Coach Mensa, Tony Mensa. He's my father's brother. He's my uncle. I check, Coach Mensa is dead. May his soul rest in peace. Men ko Samra boy da. I cannot tell you what is in Samra Boy, but when I walk down, you know what is there. So you are preventing the government from fighting illegal mining. With all due respect, boss, it hurts that I have to do this today. But if we all want to get things done, then we have to be realistic with the issues. You go on to say this. I find a bit lame some of your answers to questions on Galamsey. Which of the answers did the president give? That is lame. The disrespect, the emotions, the frustration. You think that president has to speak in a certain way, give you a certain answer. No, you don't control the president. You don't control the narrative. You don't control the decisions of the government. Your job is to report on the facts. And at the end of the day, if the facts you put out, nothing is done about it, you have done your job. But you cannot say that the answers the president gave that I heard, that you also heard, you cannot sit and say it was lame. What makes you say the president's answers were lame? Don't just write. Don't just write. You have built something for yourself out of frustration and emotions. Maybe there are some people you have spoken to that are not doing what they have to do. Does not mean you have to try and run down the goodwill of the president, of the government. No. This is totally wrong. This is totally wrong. You have gotten it wrong. Now, people are going to see you in a different way. Because all the successes this president has chalked in 9 months, when you compare what John Mahama Mwaya in 9 months to what 8 months, 8 years, you don't even have to write this. With all due respect to you. But at the end of the day, you were not able to tell us what should be done. Somebody asked the president about what we call what's the thing? State of emergency. And yesterday, the president answered that question. This is what the president said when he was asked about Galamsey fight, state of emergency. Listen.
Joshua from GH1.
Good evening, Mr. President. I am Joshua Kojumensa, GH1 Television and Star FM. I'm glad to hear that you personally are telling us that indeed steps have been taken to repeal LI 2462. But then I want to find out from you, the pro-environmentalist groups and then civil society, they want this declaration of a state of emergency. Where's the difficulty in declaring that state of emergency? Thank you.
I've been reluctant to implement a state of emergency in the Galamsey fight because we've not exhausted the powers we even have without a state of emergency. We have the opportunity to arrest anybody, to confiscate any such thing. There are laws for forest protection and all that give us enough powers to be able to act. Implementing a state of emergency might sound nice, but it should be the last extreme, the last resort. So for now, let's exercise all the powers we have. And if it becomes necessary for a state of emergency, then we'll look at it. It means we have to go to Parliament. The president can't just declare a state of emergency without, going to Parliament, because there's a limit to how long you can maintain that state of emergency. And so I believe that we still have leverage to continue to fight Galamsey without necessarily implementing a state of emergency. It means that we have to delineate the areas where the state of emergency is operational. And if you look at the area where Galamsey is taking place, it covers several districts of our country. And so we would do it if it becomes necessary. But for now, I think that we've given the security services enough powers to be able to deal with people who are found to be involved in Galamsey.
So, which part of the president's statements that you call lame? Sometimes when we learn the grammar, we should learn the grammar well. Let's not just learn the grammar and write anyhow. Answer President Mbaye, state of emergency, or say. There's a reason why in Tia, or you're very cautious about state of emergency. And couldn't Tia, say you focus state of emergency. Now, let me break something to you. Why I will share my name, my boss Erastus. The reason why you're not Ghana for to send me. Now your TV so radio so Eka say Ekufuado. He needs to make sure state of emergency because of Galamsey on Fantono. It was because the government wasn't working. It did not show any will. There was no willingness to work to fight Galamsey. When people were screaming that we need state of emergency, a state of emergency because of Galamsey, no, it was because the Ekufuado administration had stopped fighting. They didn't even start in the first place. That was the time where a sector minister, the from Pomboating, did report about said, Mr. President, in your government, in your Jubilee House, where anyway, President, so people were like, this government is not willing. And if it is not willing, it does not have the will, then there should be state of emergency. So that is why people like us, John Mahama, and the whole world were saying, then if you are not going to take a move, you are not going to make a move. If the will is not there, if your party people are doing it, you are standing in public defending chairman to me, Minerals Commission, akase, or the illegal, or the certificate, or the mining, illegal, into illegal mining. Then it is better you call in state of emergency, you put state of emergency there, send your into the state of emergency and for calling. It was because the government, the president, the whole MPP government, the administration, they were not willing to fight it. But John Mahama said, there's the will. And he has stated things he has done. For a president to come into power 9 months on signing lines in CBR, the will is there.